Florida, and welcome to Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler. I am your host, Spike Spengel. Len, it is great to see you. We do the radio together. Now here we are on TV together. Len, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm just good to be here. Like you said, we do radio together, and now we get a chance to see each other face to face. Huh?
Yeah, well, definitely some of the stuff we're going to cover today is getting your money, I guess, out of these Wall Street casinos.
Absolutely.
And it's definitely a really scary and kind of volatile market right now, especially for somebody starting or going into their retirement.
Absolutely.
But just a little bit about yourself, and I kind of want to know how it applies to your practice. One thing that folks might not know about yourself is that you were an airborne ranger, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you stay in the airplane. I think it sounds like you get out of the airplane and pretty quickly, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely, pretty quickly too. Well, especially in if you're in the Army, and you got to get down quick, because if you don't, they're going to shoot you out of the air. So you're at 1,100 feet jumping out of this thing. But anyway, it's pretty amazing. It kind of reminds me of the market. Okay, that first jump is unbelievable. I mean, you had, when you were a kid, you remember going over a hill and it took your stomach, right?
Yeah.
You can't imagine jumping out of this airplane and you're dropping it at 120 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden that chute grabs you, right? It's incredible. But it does remind me of the market, and how we have like a roller coaster ride. This market's been very volatile. We've had 12 good years, right? It's been a good run. We're not against the market, but we do say in retirement, you better get some of your money, folks, safe. All right, in a safe place, okay, because you can't afford to lose it in retirement.
Well, for folks who don't like that feeling right now of the drop of the markets, is it an all or nothing? How do you help them evaluate exactly what you're going to do with their investment assets? I mean, they don't want to be jumping out of the airplane right now into the markets.
Absolutely.
What's your philosophy on where to be invested?
Well, what we do, the first thing we do is we want to make sure we have a 5-step process that we go through, okay? Basically, if you think about if you're sitting there with your family and you invite some friends over and you're going to put together a 1,000-piece puzzle, okay? And the puzzle pieces are all over the floor or all over the table, and you realize all of a sudden that little Johnny lost the box with the picture on it. Now, how hard do you think that's going to be, Spike, to put that together?
I guess we can do the edges, find the corners and everything.
Yeah, it's going to be very frustrating, and it's going to take you a long time. Here's the thing. We know where the puzzle pieces are. We know how to put it together, all right? We've been doing it 32 years, all right? My partner and I have been doing it a long time in South Florida. And so one of the things we do in this process, number one, is safety. We've got to get some of your money safe. I always say, get out of the Wall Street casino, folks. The sharks are going to eat you alive, because you have to get some money safe. Now, we're not saying all your money, but we're saying a portion of your money. If you're 60 years old, what we teach, 60% should be in a safe place, okay? The second thing is we want to make sure that your money is going to go the distance. That's the number one concern of retarees today, Spike, is will my money be there for me?
Yeah.
Because why? We're living longer. Right? Medical advances.
Than we ever have, yeah.
We're living longer. The third thing is your Social Security. It's a big thing. We got to maximize it, okay? If you're married, say you have an average age of 83, say men, you're going to, pass on at that time, that's $1 million, okay, of money that's going to be coming to you, all right, if you live that long. And so we got to figure out how to maximize that. So that's our third piece of our process. And number 4 is when we do manage money with we have a CPA on board, a co-founder of ours, 𝗪𝗏. She is a registered investment advisor. So we can manage money, but we do it differently. We do it tactically, all right? It's not a buy and hold strategy, all right? It's moved with the computer quickly. If they see a move in 5% here or there, that computer will move that money immediately, okay? So it's much safer.
Okay.
So we like safety and everything, even when we do have the money management. And the last thing is taxes, all right? That's why we got a CPA on board. We try to mitigate those taxes, right, in retirement. People think they're going to spend less money in retirement. They're not. There's a survey was done by Deutsche Bank.
Yeah.
78%.
Yeah, you're off. So every day of the week now is a Saturday,
That's it.
right?
You're
and
right.
so you've got to spend, you've got to do things. And you're probably going to want to travel, go and see the kids or see things that you always wanted to.
Right.
Eventually, that's going to slow down, but still, you're off that many days of the week. So you're saying that your expenses, your expenditures don't necessarily go down. They what?
They probably stay the same. 78% said either stayed the same or went up. Now, think about the tax ramifications. Now, folks, do you think the taxes are going to go down? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right, they're probably going up.
Yeah.
So now here you are in retirement, and now you got this tax issue you got to worry about. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we need to do to help you, right? Get the right plan, get it balanced properly. So that's really important to us, is to make sure we're doing it properly. But the number one thing, Spike, that I preach is you got to get some of your money safe.
Right. And so going back to being an airborne ranger, where was the safety there? I mean, so you jump out, I guess safety is when you finally hit the ground, right?
Yeah, right.
But you did an extensive amount of training, and that helps you with kind of the philosophies and everything that you put together. Do you apply some of that training to your firm?
As you know, I'm a 6th-degree black belt as well.
Yes.
Okay, so with the military discipline and of course the discipline of the martial arts, yes, I absolutely. Looking at what did I learn? I learned focus in the martial arts. I learned discipline, right? Preparation, right? Going through 6 bricks with my head. All right, I'd say you'd have to focus and be prepared.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing we need to do in the market. I apply those same things. We need balance, right? You have your portfolio. We better get prepared, right? Preparation. So we want to have a good plan. Discipline, right? Right now in your retirement, we've got to be disciplined. You don't have time like my sons. My son's 40. He can roll the dice a little bit. We don't have that time.
Right.
So we've got to be disciplined.
So in preparing for that, I know that you have the income analyzer. Can you tell the folks a little bit more, what exactly is the income analyzer to help them figure out where they're at right now? Yeah,
the income analyzer basically is, the whole thing is, will your money go the distance? So what we do is we say, what is your goal? What's your retirement goal, all right? And then we take what's your income sources coming in from everything, and then we see if there's any gaps. Are we going to have enough money to go the distance, right? And then, if not, we got to figure out how to reposition, restructure, and fill those gaps, right? And we got to take into account what? Inflation, now it's 7%, and taxes. So we got to factor that in, and then we're going to come up with a good plan for you. That's what the income analyzer will do for you.
Right. So for those who are watching the program, I know that they can call in. They can get this income analyzer, especially if it's the first time that somebody is calling in. Is it something to be intimidated by? What is the process like? Is it pretty easy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's really easy. I mean, just they call into our number, okay, 844-299-0355, right? We'll make sure that we get the income analyzer form. It's complimentary. There's no charge for that at all. We don't charge for it. And yeah, it's very simple. Just call in 844-299-0355, and we'll be able to get that income analyzer going for you. Be more than happy to do it.
Folks, we're going to have to go out to a very short break, but the phone lines are open right now. As Len was saying, the number is 844-299-0355. Get your income analyzer. We're going to have more Money Talk with Len Strickler when we get back, right after this break.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler. I am your host, Spike Spengel. Len of LS Financial Group. It's not just you. You also have your partner, Art, and a whole team of people you work with, right? You say Art doesn't necessarily like to do the TV stuff, huh?
Yeah, Art's, he's my partner, and it's kind of funny when I do workshops and things, you know, I always say, you know, I'm the guy out in front, right? I'm doing the TV, radio. I love doing this stuff. You know, some people would rather die than get in front of people. Art gets all choked up. I mean, seriously. He said, Len, I'll pass out. But he is fantastic with doing the analysis behind this computer. If I had to do that job, I'd shoot myself, right? And a lot of times I'll say, you know, I love people. I just love what I'm doing. I really do. Art, he doesn't like people. And then I laugh. I say, I'm kidding. He's a peach of a guy. But he does not want to be out front doing this. But he's fantastic, folks, at what he does. I call him the master chef. I'm just a sous chef, man. I just cut vegetables, get out of the way, and get out of the kitchen, right?
And you go out and greet everybody in the restaurant, just like this. Fantastic. Well, something that you and Art in your practice focus on is you're always talking about getting your money out of the Wall Street casinos.
Right.
How exactly would you do that? What is the mechanism for that?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I'm going to use this word. It's called the A word.
Uh-oh.
You remember that? What is it, Spike?
Well, I'm hoping that you mean annuity. But yeah, this is a trigger word. Some people have an actual reaction to it. There's been negativity to it. So if you don't mind, I'd like to dive a little deeper. How is this relevant in your practice?
Right. See, annuities, I always tell folks this all the time. Annuities aren't bad, but there's some bad annuities. And there's some bad, unfortunately, sales folks that put folks in the wrong design. Okay? You got to design these things properly. These annuities, they're called fixed index annuities. They've come a long way in the last 3 to 4 years. Okay, used to be that you had a cap. You know, a cap would be maybe it's 5 or 6%, and then anything above that, the company cap. Right, you know what I'm saying? Then 5% was your cap.
All right, so it capped it, meaning capping. That's what we receive.
Right.
And then any of the bonus goes to the organization.
Right. They've changed that now to where it's unlimited upside. Right, so you can have, we've got some right now that pay 200% of an index. Now, you have to remember, with a fixed index annuity, you're not in the market, folks. Matter of fact, you're not even in the index. The insurance company is crediting you based on an index, and there's hundreds of indexes. Now, Art's job, my partner, is to go find the best index for us, okay? So let's say there's one now that we were using pays 200%. Okay, of that index. So if that index does 5, you get 10. It's beautiful. And some of the returns on this thing it's just phenomenal. So they've really opened these annuities up now. They're different, okay? And you can also design an annuity, Spike, as a guaranteed lifetime income annuity, okay, where you get it just like you would Social Security. You get it every month. If you live to 120, okay? Some folks like that design. So there's many different designs, but today, I mean, these annuities have really come a long way.
They're different. I mean, think of automobiles, think of televisions, think of telephones, how everything has changed over the last 30 or 40 years. So you're saying the new versions of annuities or the way that they're designed are just as different as any other product that we've used over the last 40, 50 years?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and again, some of them have long-term care built right into them. You know how important that is.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we're living. That's something very big in our family. Both my grandmothers have lived into our 90s. As we know, we do radio together. We know each other pretty well. It's a big concern of mine. But you've got, as you said, Art there. He's looking out there. He's got to figure. How then do you help match that to who that annuity would be best suited for? How do you go through that process? Because I don't want to be out there searching myself trying to figure it out. Then how do you use your practice?
Well, what we do is we ask some questions. Obviously, we got to know, you know, garbage in, garbage out, right? We got to know a little bit about you and what your goals are. So we'll get a few questions, real simple. And then what we'll do is we'll run this through what we call our Safe Money Scorecard. We call it our principal protection plan because you're never going to lose your principal. With what we're doing with fixed index annuity, you'll never lose your principal, folks. And you're going to get some upside, okay? If the market were to drop, what happens is you just stay and hold. We say zero's your hero. You just stay and hold. Market starts to come back, you start to go up, okay? It's that simple. But you never, ever lose your principal. So we want to make sure that we have our safe money scorecard. And what we'll do is we'll go ask you some questions, and we'll share with you 4 different annuities and their design and their features. And then we'll let you take a look and see what you like. Now, we deal with only A+ rated companies. Very important. Okay. These are one we really like now is an A+ superior company. So we use big, strong, safe companies for this, Spike.
Okay. To be fair, though, the journalist in me wants to ask: Are there downsides to using them, or what are the limitations? Why does everybody still have a lot of pushback when it comes to using something like this?
Mostly because what we're sold were variable. Okay, we were variable annuities.
Okay.
When you have a variable annuity, you're right back in the market. Now, you can design those, all right? You can design them properly, but here's the thing: you still are back in the market. And that's the thing I'm saying. Let's get out of the market. At least some of your money's safe. You can't afford to lose it. So annuities got a bad rap because a lot of the sales folks were doing these variable annuities.
Yeah.
And that's not what we do. Art and I just do fixed indexed annuities.
Yeah. Really cool. We've got a couple of minutes here before our next break, but there's a project that you've been a part of that you're really excited about. It's called the Baby Boomer Dilemma, right? Tell me a little bit about the Baby Boomer Dilemma. What is this experience?
Yeah, actually, it's a movie. It's actually a MPA rated, PG rated documentary, and it's phenomenal. Okay, it actually shows the retirement project or experiment, all right, that's going on in our country. Okay, pension plans. There's a gentleman on there who talks about, hey folks, look, they're robbing you. They've got consultants. They've got folks out there that want to take that pension from you. You got to be very careful with these pension plans. Okay, the original 401k developer is on this movie. Okay, you got 2 Nobel economists on this movie. Dr. 𝗵𝗂 is on here, Wharton. He's a fellow at Wharton School. And basically, what they're saying is that this whole experiment, it's really failed because it's put all that back on to the shoulders of individuals.
Basically, I've been saying that for the last 20 years. The responsibility now of retirement is on me, is on regular America. We have to figure it out. We used to get pension plans, but now we've kind of moved from job to job, so pension plans have gone away, and now this experiment you're talking about is on us. And from what I understand, you're going to be hosting screenings of it. Again, call the phone number that you see on the screen here. You can be a part of it. You'll be there for the screenings here in the Florida area and so forth. And then from there, they'll be able to meet you to talk about solutions, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll see this coming out on social media. You'll see it coming out. We're going to be doing a number of them, across the South Florida. But I tell you, this movie is awesome. It really is. It's an eye-opener. Anybody that's approaching retirement or in retirement, they really need to see this movie.
Right. Well, it sounds like a great experience, coupled with doing your income analyzer, checking into the Safe Money Scorecard. So we're going to continue to talk about that. Folks, we're going to have to take a very quick commercial break. The phone lines are open right now. Please, if you are worried about making sure that your income is going to last all the way through your retirement years, then you need to get up now. Call that phone number you see on your screen, 844-299-0355. We're going to have your consumer questions when we get back right after this break.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have, by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler, one of the co-founders of LS Financial Group. Len, you and I do radio together, and we get all kinds of questions, so I was hoping you wouldn't mind if we hit some consumer questions right now. And folks, I'm hitting him on the fly right now. He doesn't know what these questions are, but this is what it's like in his practice every single day, right? People are just asking you questions, and so we're going to just try to untangle those knots. All right, let me start with this one here. We've got Emmett right here in Florida. I have never rebalanced my portfolio, and because of this, I'm slowly acquiring more stocks through the years, but I am making more money or seeing my portfolio grow. Why does somebody rebalance other than they can't stomach the risk? Is this the only reason why people rebalance? To me, it just doesn't seem as profitable to sell what has been doing well.
That's a very good question, Emmett.
Yeah, rebalancing. I mean, so we get it.
My brother is, he's crazy, right? He's into the market big time. I mean, he's into the market big time, right? And, you know, and I'm talking to him about, brother, please get some of this money safe. You can't afford a big hit like 08. If it hits, you're in trouble. You know, but he's there all the time. Looking at this, it drives me nuts, you know. We're out at dinner, and he's over there doing...
What good is that going to do you following the markets in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening?
Now, I do agree with them. Look, the market's been really good, hasn't it? It's been doing well. It's 12 years. We had a good run. But what goes up will come down. And so I think it's important that you really get a portion of that money safe, and then we rebalance. We look at what else you have, make sure that it's, you know, you still want to be making some money because the market is doing well, but you got to protect some of that money. And so that's what I believe he should do. I think he should get some of that money protected. And then, to me, that's balancing it out, right? Especially in your retirement.
As you've been saying, the market's gone up for the last 12, 13 years, considered the largest bull run, the longest bull run in American history. How often should somebody be looking at something like this? Then you say your brother's looking every single day. Do you look at it once a month? Do you look at it once a year?
Well, I mean, you know, if you've got a fixed indexed annuity, right? You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go in there and, you know, you're not worried about these ups and downs and that roller coaster. You know that your principal is always going to be safe, and you're going to get some good upside of the index. Okay, it's the 20-year index on some of these indexes has been phenomenal. I mean, really great returns. So and again, you're not in the market. You're really not even in that index. You're credited based on the index. You're totally safe, and you still get some of that upside of the market. So to me, it just makes a lot of sense to get some of that money in a safe place.
Right. All right. Well, thank you. Let me get to the next one here. Jim, also here in Florida, I recently changed jobs. Can't decide what to do with my 401k. I can either leave it where it is or roll it into an IRA or roll it into the 401k at my new job. How much does it matter which one I do?
Well, it's a good question. We always teach this. If you're getting matching, if the company's matching money for you, 4%, whatever it is, take it. It's free money.
That's literally free money.
But other than that, you're probably back in the market. Your 401k, that's we were talking about the movie, right, that we had coming out, the baby boomer dilemma. That's one of the big dilemmas. There's one of the ladies on the show, she says, my 401k turned into a 201k in 2008. So my point is, you can lose money if you got that 401k or that IRA in the market. We got to get it safe. We need to get that money safe. And that's what we'll do for you. We'll get that money in a safe place. We say, get the money. Let's go ahead and get it safe, okay? And we'll look at it from there. Maybe we can do some, conversion, Roth conversions. Get some money over into this tax-free bucket. There's a lot of ways we can work with you. But you want to get out of the market.
This is something that we've been talking about, though, is that the responsibility of retirement now is completely on ourselves. I mean, we're hoping on a percentage of Social Security down the road, but a lot of folks just don't know what to do with these large retirement vehicles. And either having them not grow or taking too much risk, both can be dangerous options. So when somebody is in this in-between stage,
Right.
is this a good time to reach out to a financial advisor?
It's a very good time to get a, you know, that's the other thing, like you said, Spike. You've got to get somebody, folks, even if it's not me, that's fine. Get somebody that's a fiduciary, which I am, which simply means that I have to have you and do the right thing for the client, which I would do anyway. It's kind of interesting that you got to get this little certificate that says you're going to do the right thing.
Right.
But at any rate, I am that. I are one. But you need to get with somebody because most folks do not understand the market. They don't understand what to do with this stuff. That's not their job. Your job is to go do whatever you do, sell cars or jewelry or whatever. So we want to help you. That's what professionals are for. But you want to get the right professional.
Right. And getting a second opinion, I mean, there's no obligation to
Absolutely.
it, right? You know, you can
Absolutely.
talk to your plan administrator. You can talk to your old 401k. Something that stuck out for me on this is he was asking about leaving it at his old 401k. Guess what? I mean, companies, they sell, they change their plan administrators. So
Right.
I agree with you there. I either think
wouldn't
it's
leave
something
it.
I would move with me to the new place,
Your
or
money.
or
Take
put
it.
it into my own
Right,
IRA
right.
in some
You
sort of
control
way.
it. You want to
and
control
then
it.
call someone, like you said, whether
Right.
it's you or someone like you who
Right.
has got your best interest in mind
Right.
to be able to take a look at.
Absolutely.
Would this possibly be a time, depending on their age, where they could move it into something like you were talking about, like an annuity, or is it too soon?
No, not at all. I mean, you know, moving it into an annuity, all right, is going to get their money safe. I don't care how old you are, right? You want to get some of that money in a safe place. Now, you might put less if you're younger. If you're 40 years old, we
Right.
say put 40% in a safe place, right? And then the
Right.
rest of this money, we can go out and look, and we can kind of rebalance things for you. And, you know, we do have,
Right.
we are money managers with our CPA, okay? We can manage money for you, and we'll show you how to do it safely.
Right.
Everything we do is about safety, though.
Well, Len, that's going to be all the time that we have for today's show. Just give me a few seconds here. You can tell folks about the Income Analyzer if they reach out to the phone number on the screen.
Absolutely.
You know, we want to help people out here. So what can they get?
Yeah,
from
folks, just reach out to us. We'll be glad to do that Income Analyzer. Make sure you have enough money to go the distance. Just call us at 844-299-0355. That's 844-299-0355.
Well, thank you so much, Len. Of course, again, we'll be back next week with more show topics. As you said, being a 6-degree black belt, you had to focus on getting your head through 6 bricks, and sometimes going into the market feels like hitting your head up against the bricks. Let's, folks, get your money out of the Wall Street casinos. We want to make sure it's safe, and that's exactly what Len Strickler, Art, and the entire team there at LS Financial Group do for you. You want to make sure that you get your money out of those Wall Street casinos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back again next week with more Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler.